Hello, and welcome to the Texas Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Danielle, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I do have a few housekeeping items to share with you. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to ask any questions throughout the presentation. I also want to encourage you to check out other sessions that are happening tonight. So check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Texas. All right, let's get started with our very first presenter, Duke Kunshan University.
Hi, thank you so much for joining. I'm presenting Duke Kunshan University, which is Duke University's new joint venture university in China. And essentially what we're offering is like a Duke Education 2.0 taught in English in China to top international students from all around the world. As a joint venture university, we are a partnership between Duke University, currently ranked number 9 in the best US colleges, Wuhan University, which is one of China's top 10, and the city of Kunshan. Kunshan is a city of about 2 million residents, and it's one of the greenest and wealthiest cities per capita in all of China. This is where our campus is located, and it's an emerging technology and innovation hub, much like early Silicon Valley. From here, it's about 21 minutes on the high-speed train to get to Shanghai, one of the biggest and most international cities in the entire world. Also, we're about 30 minutes away from China's historic water towns. So this one is a place where our students love to go, where they can engage with locals that are leading a slower pace of life and reflect more of the traditions and history of historic China. Our flagship study away is the study away at Duke University, where our students come to Duke during part of the junior year. They live on campus, they take Duke classes, and basically have as much of the Duke experience as possible in a short term. And then they graduate with 2 degrees, a Chinese degree from Duke Kunshan University and a US bachelor's degree from Duke. This is an American-style, research-oriented liberal arts and sciences university, taking an innovative, practical, and global approach to higher education. Our student demographics are very different from what you would find in the US because we are about 70% Chinese nationals, about 30% international. We'll be about 2,000 undergraduates when we're at full capacity, and we already have over 60 different countries and nationalities represented. Here's a quick look at our majors. They are all interdisciplinary dual majors that are pre-packaged together like double majors. So if you really want to go for a global career like foreign affairs, diplomacy, international law and public policy, or international business, or maybe you're just really interested in China and the Chinese language, or want to be on the leading edge of innovation and technology, like in data science or AI or cybersecurity, we have many major pairings for you here. We have the most beautiful student residences that I've seen at any university anywhere. They're all spacious and brand new. Cost-wise, our sticker price is tied to Duke universities, since this is a Duke quality education and a Duke degree, at just around $58,000 per year. But our cost of living here is actually about $10,000 less per year than the standard for what you would pay if you're living as a college student in the United States. Additionally, over 80% of our international students receive reduced tuition through scholarships and financial aid, and they tend to be substantial reductions. Our largest packages, for instance, cover 100% of tuition. So every year we have students that come here completely tuition free. We are on the Common App, and this year we are test optional. And while this year our international student experience may not be possible in a typical year when we're not facing extreme travel restrictions, if you apply to Duke Kunshan University and you get accepted, we offer to fly you to China in late April, pay for your flight, pay for your hotel. You would take a tour of campus and tours of the local area, take sample classes from our faculty members, and see DKU for yourself. Give it a test drive and see if it feels like the right fit for you. And this all happens before the deadline to make that big decision about whether you commit and go to Duke Kunshan in China or decide to go somewhere else. So this is the short version of the presentation, but if you would like to get some emails from us and keep in touch, maybe even get a mailer gift package in the mail with a nice soft t-shirt, and get more information about how to take the full length presentation, just sign up here at this QR code. Again, that'll have us keep in touch with you via email, and you might even get a nice gift package in the mail. Thank you so much for joining, and please follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right, we have a little change in our schedule tonight, but no worries. Our next presenter is going to be the University of Roehampton, London.
Thank you so much, Danielle. I'll just get my screen shared here. Hold on just a moment. Sorry, I got a little confused. There we go. I got everybody so I can see everything here. Thanks so much again for being here with us tonight, everyone. I'm Amanda Lundberg, and I'm an international officer with the University of Roehampton in London, England. I am from the US, as you can hear, but I did live in London for 12 years and have dual nationality. And I'm super excited to share a little bit more about why you should choose Roehampton to study. All right, so we are considered London's campus university, which is unique amongst London universities. Typically, they're spread out all over the city. We're situated on a beautiful 54-acre parkland setting in Southwest London, and we've been providing education for 180 years now. So we're known as one of the modern universities in London. And we were also the first college of higher education to educate women, which we're really proud of. We've been ranked again as a top 10 university in London. And then you can see here, we've also been ranked as the best modern university in London. So we've got a very diverse student population with over 12,000 students enrolled, of whom 28% come from outside of the UK and represent around 146 nationalities. 93% of our students are in employment or further study after graduation, which is always important. We have 6 academic departments, which I'll show you in just a moment, across 4 different colleges. So you'll be based in one of those depending on which area of study you have. We're also ranked 5th in London for student satisfaction, which is really important to us. We are very much a research-led institution. We're the #1 modern university in London for quality of research, and we're also the most research-intensive modern university in the UK. So you are definitely in good academic hands. So here you can see our proximity to central London. We're just down the River Thames from all the popular tourist attractions. We're right next door to Wimbledon if you enjoy tennis. And we have London's largest Royal Park, Richmond, in our back garden. Public transportation in London is fantastic, so you're not going to need a car when you come to study with us. You'll have a huge variety of buses and trams and tubes and trains to get around, and we also have a free university bus that will take you all over our little corner of London as well as into central London too. So our campus is lush and green, but being close to central London, you get the best of both worlds with both the city, landscape, as well as nature. The university is comprised of 4 historic colleges, as I mentioned briefly. We do like to compare ourselves to Harry Potter because these colleges do compete in an annual college cup and they do play Quidditch. So it's always fun to get involved in that. but our colleges offer loads of great amenities for all of our students. So such as sports facilities, each has different gyms and cafes and social spaces within them. And really the colleges provide a fantastic community within the community at the university. So our degrees in England, I should say, are shorter than the ones in the US. So you could have 2 degrees in the time it takes you to get 1 here. You can choose a single subject here if you wanted to, but you can also combine subjects within similar disciplines. We have no general education requirements, so they are our degrees are very academically challenging, but absolutely rewarding. So requirements are going to vary slightly from program to program, depending on what you're coming to study. But generally, we're going to be looking at your transcript, at your overall GPA, typically your unweighted GPA. We are completely test optional. So if you've taken them, you can still submit them. But if you haven't, that's no problem. It's not going to hurt you. And then some of our subjects will require particular grades in the relevant subjects. So depending on what you're applying to there. We do accept IB curriculum as well as transfer students. So if that's you, please know that our doors are open. And you can see that for dance students, we do require an audition either live or by video. So applying is super simple. You can either apply through UCAS, which is the UK's version of Common App. You can apply to 5 different schools with 1 application, or you can also apply for free on our website, which is great. We have rolling admissions, which means that there's no hard deadlines to apply. And you can also apply to start in either September or January, depending on when you feel ready. In terms of overall costs, we're really affordable, especially considering you're saving a whole year of tuition with the 3-year programs. We have numerous scholarships. The merit-based scholarship is one that we assess all of our applicants for. That's based off of your GPA. And I would say that US students qualify usually for 1 or more of these scholarships, and they also tend to utilize FAFSA for federal loans as well. With our accommodation, we do guarantee this for our international students, and so that takes the guessing game out of it. You don't have to go looking for accommodation either on campus or off. We make sure that we save a room for you. And our rooms are quite different too, I would say, to US dorms. So they're going to be single occupancy rooms with either your own private bathroom or a shared bathroom with 2 or 3 other students. And all of our flats have shared kitchens as well. So it's a self-catered living situation, and very much like an independent lifestyle here. And we do group our first-year students together, but you will be living with students from all over the world, which is fantastic. So we've got loads going on campus, as I'm sure you probably expect, whether you're into sports or you want a good volunteering program or mentorship, if you want a great nightlife or just to join a bunch of different clubs, which is what we call societies. There's tons to get involved in here. So we are very proud of the diversity we have on campus, and our ethos very much is based on social justice and equality. And we do try to put all students on an equal playing field, no matter in every aspect of their university life. So these are a few of the sports that we've got on campus. There's a few more to offer here, but just to note at the bottom, if you're a soccer player, we do have a fantastic partnership with the Premier League club Crystal Palace, where you can train with them, which is awesome, and that while you're getting your degree with us. So kind of a double whammy if you're wanting to do something within sports management. And I'll leave you with this final slide, a whole bunch of QR codes. You can screenshot it for later if you want, but thank you so much for your time today, and good luck with your college search.
Thank you. Our next presenter is the University of Strathclyde, Glasgow, Scotland.
Hi, everyone. Thanks very much, Danielle. I'll just share my screen with everyone here. There we are. Oh, it's just taking its time. There we are. So I'm here to speak to you about the University of Strathclyde. As you can probably tell from my accent, we are based in Scotland, in Glasgow, which is the biggest city. So a couple of facts then about the university itself. We were founded over 200 years ago, back in 1796. We were founded as the place for useful learning. So our founder was really keen that the skills that our graduates gained could be put into the workplace. And that's really what our ethos is all about, 200 years on, as it were. We're quite a large institution. We have over 23,000 students from over 100 different countries. And you can see here a lot of the accolades that we have won over the past couple of years that we're really proud of. So recently we were named the UK University of the Year by Times Higher Education. We won this in 2019 and also back in 2012. So we are the only UK university to have won this award twice now. We were also recognised as Scottish University of the Year. And we won the Queen's Anniversary Prize. This is an award that's given to an institution every 2 years. It's very prestigious. Our principal received the prize at Buckingham Palace. And we were recognised for our research in energy innovation. So lots going on there. And in recognition of all this, I think we're most proud of being ranked 4th in the UK for our student satisfaction. We've done a lot, we've ploughed a lot of investment into updating campus facilities, teaching and research, and this is really reflected in how great our students feel that they are getting teaching and research from us as well. They're having a really great experience studying at Strathclyde. So we're really pleased that that's reflected within the student satisfaction. So in terms of location, as I mentioned, Glasgow is the biggest city in Scotland and we're located in the heart of the downtown area. Glasgow is quite a thriving city. There are 6 universities in and around the city itself. It's a large student population, lots of student accommodation in and around the city as well, and lots going on. In terms of world-class shopping, we're second in terms of retail outside of London. We are recognised as UNESCO City of Music. That's a nod to hosting over 120 different concerts, gigs, music events every single week. So there's something for everyone. And as well as that, we've ploughed a lot of resources into updating our sporting facilities in Glasgow. So in recognition of that, we've been host to a number of sporting events over the years, including the Commonwealth Games and the European Championship. Glasgow Airport is situated a 20-minute drive from the city centre itself. We're 4 hours from London by train. That's a nice scenic journey, and only an hour flight from London as well. So Glasgow is a great hub as well in which to travel to different locations, different towns and cities in and around the UK, and also a great gateway to travel to different cities in Europe as well. And our students love doing that, love availing of budget airlines and going off to Paris or Barcelona for a weekend or during vacation time. So you can see here, as I mentioned, downtown area, this is where we're located in the city. Glasgow itself is a very walkable city, and we're only about a 10-minute walk from the major bus and train stations. So again, very, very easy to navigate and to get around. Campus investment, we have invested over £1 billion, or we will be doing by 2025. We've recently updated our sports facilities. We opened a £31 million state-of-the-art sports centre a few years ago. Our technology and innovation centre, we work with industry and government bodies there. We hold large conferences for industry there. Our library, we have newly refurbished areas. And we recently opened our learning and teaching building in September, which is our one-stop shop for students. We have our International Student Support Centre there, the International Office where I am, and also our student union and lots of great study spaces, cafes, shops, etc. Some links with the US. So we have over 100 students from the US come and join us every year to study. Our founder was a good friend of Benjamin Franklin. He used to accompany him on his visits to Scotland. And one of our alum was also the first Scotland-born player to play for the NFL. So Scott Cooper played for the Chicago Bears against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have 4 faculties at Strathclyde: our business school, engineering, humanities and social sciences, and science. We've been ranked in 23 subject areas in the top 10 in the UK. And a little bit about our structure. So it's important to know that it's 4 years degree structure in Scotland. And the great thing about Strathclyde is that we have quite a flexible system whereby you can pick and choose different subjects. in the first 2 years of study before you decide what you want to major in. I'll pop some more details in the chat, and you can find lots of information on our website as well. Thanks very much for listening. Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you, Melissa. All right, we are preparing for our last presenter today, the University of Toronto. After the University of Toronto, we will have time to go through a few questions, so stick around for some great advice from our college representatives. All right, take it away, Courtney.
Awesome, thank you. And thanks everybody. Happy to round out the show here. My name is Courtney and I'm part of the recruitment team at the University of Toronto. So thanks so much for joining me today. As you might know, the University of Toronto is a network of unique communities in the heart of a dynamic and diverse region. And so let's just take a few minutes to now explore what you might not know and how our students can mix and match programs to build unique degrees and review a few admissions basics. So the University of Toronto is Canada's top-ranked university and Canada's flagship university for research and discovery. We're ranked in the world's top 20 year after year, in part because our campuses attract the best and brightest from all over the world. A lot of people know that insulin was discovered at U of T, but did you know that stem cell research started here too? The world's first nerve transplant, the world's first electronic pacemaker, and the world's first treatment for Hodgkin's lymphoma. These are just a few of U of T's many contributions. We've produced Oscar winners, Olympic champions, prime ministers, Nobel laureates, and best-selling authors. This legacy of innovation is driven by the connections that we have with each other and with the neighborhoods and communities all across the Greater Toronto Area. The BBC once ranked Toronto as the world's most diverse city, and while there are lots of contenders for that title, we're definitely up there. In fact, more than half of Toronto's population was born outside of Canada and speaks languages other than English. The city is clean, safe, delicious, and has something for everyone. U of T is actually older than the city of Toronto, meaning that all of this wonderful diversity and richness has grown up around us. In fact, U of T was founded even before the country of Canada in 1827. But other communities have called these lands home for far, far longer, and we wish to acknowledge the land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. Our central location in Toronto has also helped us to expand and grow into 3 campuses, all within an hour of each other and all offering the same top quality education. When you graduate, you'll earn the same U of T degree. The campus you choose makes no difference. To the west, you'll find U of T Mississauga, which is about a half hour from downtown Toronto. It's a mid-sized campus with about 16,000 students, and it's located on 225 acres of gorgeous green space. Most of the buildings are newly built, so it has a very modern feel. U of T Mississauga offers programs in arts, science, and business, along with unique joint programs with Sheridan College. U of T St. George is our founding campus, right at the heart of downtown Toronto, with 35,000 undergraduate students and a wonderful mix of Gothic buildings and glass and steel towers. U of T St. George is home to the Daniels Faculty of Architecture, Landscape, and Design, the Faculty of Applied Science and Engineering, the Faculty of Kinesiology and Physical Education, and the Faculty of Music, along with the Faculty of Arts and Science and its 7 colleges. Our third campus, U of T Scarborough, about a half hour east of the downtown core, is a mid-sized campus with about 15,000 students. It's located on over 300 acres of parkland in the Highland Creek Valley. In addition to offering programs in arts, science, and business, U of T Scarborough is our co-op campus, so it's a great place for students who learn best by doing. It's vital to us that every U of T student has not just a home base, but a team that's there to support you and cheer you on. Each of our campuses is home to a wide range of student supports, and our students take full advantage of these services. So much so that 91% of first-year students move on to second year, a higher rate than the provincial average. U of T students thrive because they're in charge of their own futures. When you start your degree at U of T, you can mix and match programs, certificates, and co-curriculars to build an experience that captures your unique passions and personality. U of T offers hundreds of programs and thousands of courses. Students can personalize their degrees by combining majors, minors, specialists, and certificates in different fields. We're all about choice. While certain specialized programs are unique to a campus, for example, forensic science at Mississauga or journalism at Scarborough. Many of our programs are offered on all 3 campuses, so students can choose the setting they prefer. There are so many ways to tailor your degree. You can build a co-curricular record, you can gain paid work experience through our co-op programs and professional experience year programs or PEY co-op. You can take research courses or study on exchange at any of our 160 partner institutions across more than 40 countries. And you can get involved with any of our 1,000 clubs, our 44 varsity level sports teams, or our intramural league. So if being a part of Canada's #1 university sounds fantastic, how do we get you there? While I can't cover the admission requirements for every program in the short time we have, I really encourage you to take a look at our online resources where you'll find all the answers and easy ways to connect with us. In general, we look for strong academic results in the last 2 years of high school, along with specific prerequisite courses depending on the program. We are also continuing our test optional admissions policy for 1 additional year for folks who are applying for September 2022 admission. No matter what program you're applying to, all applicants are also automatically considered for merit-based awards. You can learn more about our largest international scholarship, the Lester B. Pearson Award, by visiting the site you see here. And all students can use our handy Awards Explorer to find even more award opportunities. Thanks again so much for your time this evening. Don't forget to drop by discover.utoronto.ca to find feature tours, webcasts, and on-demand content, as well as booking one-on-one appointments with recruiters like myself. I'll also put my contact information in the chat. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. All right, let's come together for some Q&A. So this is a really great question that really is helpful to our students and our families who are joining us on the call. So I would love to get our college representatives' feedback. What advice would you give someone who's going through the college search process? And just to add a little twist to that, specifically for students who are applying to schools internationally, what advice would you give them?
My best advice is if you are in this session because you're interested in going abroad for university, just do it. Just take that plunge and do it. The people that I know that have studied abroad, that was like the happiest time of their entire lives and the days that they missed and cherished the most. It doesn't get any easier than when you're in university and you have a built-in group of friends and a whole university network to support you. The further on in life you get, the harder and harder it becomes to actually take that plunge. So just take a chance and do it.
And I would say kind of similarly, all of us here have either lived in the countries that we represent or currently do in Melissa's case. And Courtney, I'm assuming you as well. But we all have experience in these countries at our universities. And so I would say use us as a resource. We're a huge resource to you to be able to talk to you about what it's like on campus, what it's like living in that particular country. So yeah, I'd say that would be my biggest piece of advice, because we can also point you to more people that are going to give you even more of their experience, their hands-on experience studying with us and living in each of our different areas of the world.
And I would say just to add to that as well, getting in touch with us is great, and also use us as a tool to get in touch with other people, especially students. So we have loads of students who give great testimonials, who act as our student ambassadors and would be happy to chat to prospective students as well about their own experience. And utilize social media. I mean, we're all in this virtual world together. So go on to the universities and have a look at their Facebooks and their TikToks and their Instagrams and check out what the experience is like from that point of view as well.
I would definitely echo all the advice. I do live in Canada, so I'm always happy to chat about Canada. And I think that ties into my piece too, is to look into the country's policies where you're going in terms of your study permit and how that allows you to work in the country. I know Canada has a pretty flexible process with allowing students to work part-time while they're studying and stay after they graduate, because you might really fall in love in a place and want to stay. So if that's the case, that you're thinking about longer term, check out the work requirements and the study permit process for the country you're going to.
Thank you. That is great advice. So somewhat similar, what would you say are some of the myths about this process that you would want to debunk?
If you don't mind me jumping in here, and maybe Amanda as well, actually, you could kind of back me up here as the kind of UK reps, but we always have students from the US who are applying to the UK, and you can apply through what's called UCAS, which is the UK centralised application system. And it might seem a little bit daunting because it's maybe a different application process to what you're used to. There's a thing on UCAS called the personal statement. Do not be daunted by it. It is a little bit different to the essay that you would be used to if you're using the Common App application, for example. But trust me, it's once you break it down and reach out to us reps as well for advice, you'll be fine with it. If you go onto the UCAS web pages, and I'll pop this in the chat, there are loads and loads of great resources on how to construct a personal statement. So as I said, don't be daunted by it. There's lots of tools there to help you.
I'd like to debunk the myth that it's more expensive to study in a foreign country. Just check into the situation. At our university, for example, it's $10,000 less per year on average for the cost of living, like dorms and food. In other countries, you might qualify to attend their university program in English completely tuition free because they offer that in their country, and you would only have to come up for, with the cost of living. Even when you factor in overseas travel, like the flights, it still winds up being so much less expensive in many cases than your typical 4-year program in the United States. So don't let that myth, slow you down. Dig in a little deeper and find out that it could potentially save you money.
Yeah, I would kind of echo that as well, Lindsay. I was going to say more on the finance side, but similarly, like Melissa said, the application in the UK is very, very simple. It's very straightforward. And then similarly on the jumping over to the finance side, sorry, it's a bit of a double whammy here. That it's very affordable to study. You're saving money for certainly in England with the shorter programs, but there's plenty of scholarships. There's you can apply through FAFSA at a lot of schools within the UK, and you can also work on your student visa. So there's going to be lots of ways that you can help to fund your course when you're studying abroad. So don't be scared of the finances necessarily. We can kind of walk you through that.
Yeah, I definitely on both those points, applying to Canada is pretty straightforward. And so, don't feel too intimidated by the process. And yeah, definitely check into the cost as well, especially because the Canadian dollar is quite a bit weaker than the US dollar right now. So it's a good time to come and study in Canada. I think the third thing I would add is don't feel like you're the only one who's got these questions. Lots of students do. I know that a lot of students will come up to me and say, oh, I'm in this really unique circumstance. I don't think you've probably met anyone like me before. And there's probably other students I have. And if not, I'm, able to help you get the answer that you need. So, we have professionals in our offices, just like us, who work with students from all around the world with all sorts of unique circumstances and curriculums and combinations and programs they want to study. So, don't feel like you're, going to have to do something extraordinary to get into university. We'll help you figure it out together. And we've probably seen something similar before.
Thank you. That was just really awesome advice and resources that you all shared. All right, so here is a fun one for you. What is one thing that you want our attendees to remember about your school? And we'll go in the same order that you presented.
2 things. We are in China and we are brand new. So you don't have to worry about coming to a university that is out of date and out of touch. Everything here has been newly built and newly designed for what you need right now.
I'd say something to remember about Roehampton, and I suppose it is kind of the UK in general too, but is just the specialized degrees that we have. We have, without the general education, you do really have practical learning at Roehampton specifically. So you are going to be doing a lot of hands-on. So you're going to do part of your course will be theoretical and part of it will be practical. And you get to do it in less time. So that's something always worth noting.
For me, I guess it's the accent. You know, you're coming to Scotland, so get used to the accent. You're going to find a lot of people that sound like me, and yes, you do get random folk walking about the streets in kilts. That's not a myth. That is true. I would say just following what Amanda had said about the specialised degree structure as well. Just remember, in Scotland, ours is slightly different. It's a little bit more flexible, certainly if you're looking to study business or humanities, liberal arts subjects. So the US system is actually modelled on the Scottish system.
Yeah, I would say just the flexibility and the breadth of programs we have. Canadian universities do tend to be pretty large and have a wide variety of programs. They're kind of considered under that comprehensive category. So just the number of things that we're well known for goes beyond kind of the initial obvious ones. And you can combine lots of programs too.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much for sharing all of the great information about your institutions, but then also sharing resources and advice with our attendees. We are now at the end of our session. We're wrapping up a little bit early. We weren't able to hear from two of our presenters tonight, but we hope that we're able to hear from them in the future. Be sure to check out their websites to learn more about their institutions. When you close out of this session, you will receive a very short survey. We appreciate any feedback that you're able to offer us. Want to encourage you to sign up for the other sessions that are happening tonight, and you can check the schedule on the website. The recording will be available at stridescan.com/Texas. Thank you all and have a great evening.
Thanks, everyone.